She was just a tired mom on a red-eye flight, nothing fancy, nothing loud, just a mother doing her best. The cabin was dim, passengers asleep, and her baby stirred with that telltale cry. What happened next would expose the silent cruelty that still festers in high places, and the unexpected revenge that no one saw coming. Her name was Janelle Bryant, 32, black, single mother, nursing student. She wasn't flying first class. She wasn't flying for fun. She had scraped up enough to visit her dying mother back home in Atlanta. She boarded the flight with her 4-month-old son, Micah, clutched to her chest and wrapped in a soft gray blanket. She wasn't asking for much. Just a seat, a little peace, and maybe, just maybe, a little grace. Seat 14B, next to her, Amanda Carlisle, CEO, blonde, pristine, flashing a Rolex, tapping her heels, jaw tight with corporate entitlement. As soon as Janelle sat down, Amanda's eyes narrowed. "I hope your child doesn't scream the entire flight," Amanda muttered. Janelle offered a polite smile. "He usually sleeps through." Micah began to fuss. Janelle lifted her shirt discreetly, shielded by a blanket, and began to breastfeed. That's when Amanda snapped. "Are you kidding me? That is absolutely inappropriate. This is a public space," she hissed, waving down the flight attendant. The flight attendant approached nervously. Amanda's voice was sharp enough to cut glass. "She's exposing herself. Feeding a baby like that beside professionals. Children might see." The attendant hesitated. "Ma'am, she's covered." "I'm uncomfortable. That's harassment." People around started to stir. Some whispered. Some looked away. Janelle's hands trembled. "I'm feeding my baby. That's not illegal." Amanda scoffed, loud. "It should be." And then came the insult that set the internet on fire. "You people are always doing this kind of thing. No class, no boundaries. You people." Janelle's heart dropped. The flight attendant offered to move her to the back, next to the restroom. Micah whimpered. Tears welled in Janelle's eyes. But she didn't argue. She just got up and walked. Someone had recorded it. Someone who saw everything. The video went viral before the plane landed. Amanda Carlisle, CEO of an empowerment brand for women, caught on video shaming a black mother for breastfeeding. Her company's slogan? "We rise by lifting others." The irony? Blistering. By morning, hashtags trended. Number let moms feed. Number fire, Amanda Carlisle. Number boycott rise. Well, but Amanda wasn't worried. She tweeted, "I'm the victim of a smear campaign. I support all women." She even called Janelle a clout chaser. The media spun it. Her PR team got to work. And for a while, it looked like Amanda would get away with it. Janelle stayed quiet. At first. Until one voice message changed everything. A journalist named Malik from a rising black media outlet reached out. He dug into Amanda Carlisle. What he found? A pattern of silencing, of NDAs, of discriminatory hiring practices. Malik said, "You're not the first, but you could be the last." Janelle agreed to speak out. And then she sued. Not just Amanda, but Risewell Incorporated, citing racial discrimination, emotional trauma, and public humiliation. And here's where fate twisted beautifully. In court, Amanda sat smug, designer suit, flashing jewelry. She smirked when Janelle took the stand, but Janelle didn't flinch. Her voice trembled, but it was steady. She played the full video. The courtroom heard every word. "You people," inappropriate. "Move her to the back." The room went silent. Amanda's PR defense crumbled. But the final blow? Malik revealed a former Risewell employee who had also been mistreated while pregnant. Fired for nursing in the break room. The judge's gavel slammed, and Amanda's smirk finally cracked. Amanda Carlisle was forced to resign. Risewell issued a public apology. Janelle won the case, and a settlement that paid off her student loans and set up a fund for working mothers. And the best part? Janelle's quiet courage inspired national change. A Mom's Right to Nurse Act was introduced in Congress, strengthening protections for breastfeeding mothers in public spaces. Janelle didn't just defend herself, she defended thousands. Never mistake humility for weakness. Never assume silence means surrender, because sometimes the most underestimated people hold the most unstoppable power. Janelle wasn't loud, she wasn't wealthy, but she stood up even when it cost her comfort. And in doing so, she reminded the world that dignity isn't negotiable, and being a mother is never something to be ashamed of. Just when Janelle thought the fight was over, a letter arrived. No return address, just 5 words, handwritten on the back. You were never the only one. And tucked inside, a photo of a different mother. Same airline, same story, same shame. But this time, the stakes are even higher. The envelope sat on her kitchen table for hours. She couldn't bring herself to open it again. Inside, a photo. A woman, dark skin, tired eyes, holding a baby. Same airline, same rows, same look of shame. Janelle flipped it over. 1 word scribbled in shaky ink. Denver. Micah cooed in her arms. Her heart pounded. Was this some sick game? Or a warning? Janelle called Malik. He dropped everything. They traced the photo's timestamp. Flight 2096, 3 years ago. Janelle posted the image online with a single caption. Does anyone know this woman? And within 24 hours, they found her. Her name was Elena Ross, a nurse, black, single mother. She had flown to Denver for a job interview. She had also been shamed on that same airline by a white male executive who called her disgusting for breastfeeding. No video, no support, no lawsuit. She was escorted off the plane, fired from the job she never got to attend, and here's where things turned dark. Elena agreed to talk, but only in private. She had signed an NDA, paid $20,000 to settle quietly. The airline? SkyRealm Air, the same airline Janelle had flown, the same PR firm that had backed Amanda Carlisle. And that's when Malik uncovered the smoking gun, a list of confidential settlements. All women, all black or brown, all mothers, all silenced. The airline had a pattern: humiliate, pay off, and erase. Janelle wasn't scared anymore. She refused to stay quiet. She rallied the women. Elena, 3 more mothers, 10, then 23. All with the same story: breastfeeding, shamed, threatened, settled. Malik filmed a documentary. It went viral in days. Nursing is Not Nasty trended across the globe. SkyRealm's CEO was subpoenaed. Congress opened an investigation. And Janelle? She was asked to testify before a national committee. In the hearing room, Janelle stood tall. Baby Micah now walking by her side. She faced the executives who once called her a problem and said, "You called me inappropriate. You tried to erase me, but today I speak for every woman you tried to shame. You told me to go to the back of the plane. I say it's time you get grounded." Thunderous applause. The executives sat frozen. The room erupted with vindication. The airline was fined $45 million. Mandatory sensitivity training was enforced across all major carriers. New legislation passed, the Breastfeeding Passenger Protection Act. Airlines now required to have nursing-friendly policies or face federal penalties. Janelle launched a nonprofit, Sky Moms United. She helped women fight back. Micah would grow up knowing his mother didn't just feed him, she fed a movement. You don't have to be famous to change the world. You don't need wealth to fight injustice. All you need is courage, a voice, and the will to say, enough. Because when one woman stands, she lifts generations. Janelle was never just a mom. She was a warrior. And now, the sky was no longer the limit. It was her battleground. Just as Janelle thought the skies were safe, another letter arrived. This time, it wasn't anonymous. It was from a flight attendant. She wrote, They're scrubbing old flight logs, changing records. You need to see what I found. And it's not just moms they're targeting. Inside the envelope, a list, code names, dates, and a photo of a young pregnant staffer in uniform, eyes full of fear. SkyRealm wasn't done. They were just getting started. The letter was signed, K.H. The flight attendant begged Janelle to meet in person. They arranged it discreetly. A quiet diner outside Baltimore. K.H. arrived in a hoodie, sunglasses, hands shaking. She slid a flash drive across the table. "This is bigger than anything you've seen," she whispered. "SkyRealm doesn't just shame mothers. They've created a blacklist of women who get pregnant." Janelle froze. "What kind of blacklist?" K.H. looked her dead in the eye. "They monitor their female staff, flight attendants, crew, even applicants. If you're pregnant, you're flagged. If you nurse, you're reassigned. And if you speak up..." She looked around. "They erase you." Janelle plugged the flash drive into Malik's laptop. Together they scanned the documents. Encrypted files, HR records with red tags, PREG-RISK, nurse risk, low AWATCH. Flight crew evaluation notes with cruel language. Likely to reproduce, unreliable. Has child, may create drama. Over 70 names, all women. Many were no longer employed, most were women of color. Janelle scrolled, and then she saw it. Eleanor Ross, blacklisted under medical risk Milk Express. Janelle clutched her chest. This wasn't policy, it was targeted sabotage. Janelle and Malik reached out to women on the list. At first, silence. Then slowly, one by one, they came forward. Tina Morales, fired after asking about lactation rooms. Sasha Kim, forced to work double shifts while pregnant, then written up for fatigue. Denise Otieno, told she was less desirable for international assignments after her second child. All of them sworn to NDAs, all of them silenced. But now, with Janelle leading the charge, they found their voice. A whistleblower from inside SkyRealm's legal department contacted Malik. She revealed an internal document, Project Clear Skies, an initiative to optimize crew productivity by minimizing maternal interference. It was corporate language for systematic gender cleansing. Janelle's heart dropped. She knew what she had to do. She couldn't just expose them, she had to dismantle them. Malik aired a special report. The Motherhood Blacklist, SkyRealm's dirty secret. The evidence hit harder than anything before. Emails, meetings, internal memos. The CEO's voice on audio. Mothers are a liability. You ground them, or they ground us. The internet exploded. So did Congress. A federal investigation was launched. SkyRealm's stock crashed 40% in a week. The company was hemorrhaging. A class action lawsuit was filed on behalf of 93 women. The Department of Labor began its probe. SkyRealm was forced to shut down 5 regional branches. And Janelle? She stood on national TV, calm, fierce, unapologetic. They tried to shame us. They tried to erase us. But mothers don't disappear. We multiply. Applause thundered. America was listening. Change was happening. But beneath the headlines, a new threat was rising. Malik's phone buzzed at 2:47 a.m. Unknown number. Voicemail. A voice, distorted but urgent. "You're not just exposing SkyRealm, you're disrupting investments. Powerful people don't like disruptions." He called Janelle immediately. Her voice was steady. "I'm not stopping." But that same day, Micah's daycare was vandalized. A note left in the cubby. "Take your baby and disappear." Janelle's world stopped. This wasn't just a lawsuit anymore. It was war. What do you do when truth becomes dangerous? When justice paints a target on your back? Janelle knew the risks, but she also knew the stakes. If she stayed silent now, they'd win. Not just over her, but over every woman who dared to be a mother and a professional. She held Micah tight. She looked him in the eyes and said, "We don't run, we rise." And just like that, She prepared to take the next step. They may have planes, they may have power, but mothers have something they'll never understand: purpose. Because when you fight for your child's future, you don't stop at turbulence. You fly through it. A package arrived at Janelle's door. No postage, no return address. Inside, a black binder, labeled in bold, Project Nova. Inside, names, dates, flight codes, and at the very bottom, a photo of Janelle herself, taken months before the viral video. The note underneath read, "You were always a test case." She called Malik the second she saw the photo. He came over, laptop in hand, gloves on. He flipped through the binder, page after page of coded memos. Keywords: compliance stressor, emotional response target, socio-political yield curve. These weren't HR documents. They were experiments, human ones. Janelle wasn't just humiliated on that plane. She was chosen to see how far a black mother could be pushed before the public cared. Malik traced the binder to a shadow consulting firm, Echelon Strategies, LLC, registered in Delaware. No phone number, no address, but tied to over 30 corporations, including SkyRealm, including multiple hospitals, and including a federal research grant. Janelle stared in disbelief. Taxpayer money used to orchestrate trauma, to study social escalation patterns in marginalized demographics. Translation: they wanted to see what broke first, the mother, the system, or the silence. KH called again. Panicked. She was being followed. Her apartment had been broken into, but before she vanished, she dropped one more bomb. A hidden server. In the bowels of SkyRealm's headquarters, backdoor access. Malik pulled the string, and what unraveled was a classified communication thread between Echelon and SkyRealm's executive board. Initiate Target B. Secondary test subject in controlled emotional trial. Expected viral latency. 48 hours. Contingency payout in place. Target B was Elena Ross. She hadn't just been silenced. She had been used. Janelle's hands shook as she pieced it together. This wasn't about profit. It was about provocation. They orchestrated moments, pushed women to the edge, filmed it, leaked it, sat back and studied the reaction. Public outrage? Measured? Policy changes? Calculated? It wasn't justice they feared. It was losing control of the experiment, and now that Janelle had exposed it all, she was the variable that wouldn't conform. Then came the court order. SkyRealm was suing Janelle for breach of proprietary information. They accused her of theft, of fraud, of conspiracy to defame. They were flipping the narrative, making her the villain. And the press started to bite. Headlines changed. Mother or manipulator? Did she orchestrate it all? The system wasn't just fighting back. It was rewriting the story. Janelle had a choice. Walk away, settle, protect Micah and disappear, or double down. So she held a press conference, Micah in her arms, eyes clear, voice unshaken. You think I'm a pawn, but I'm not in your game anymore. I'm flipping the board, and I'm bringing everyone with me. She released Project NOVA to the public. Every file, every name, raw, unfiltered, letting the world see the twisted web. Within hours, social media erupted. Hacktivists leaked more. Echelon's server was breached. The government launched a full investigation. Congress froze funding to SkyRealm and all Echelon subsidiaries. Multiple arrests followed. The CEO stepped down. Whistleblowers flooded the press. Janelle became a symbol not of motherhood, but of resistance. What they used to test her backfired. Their experiment in control, now a case study in revolution. Sometimes the only way to beat a rigged system is to stop playing by their rules. They want you to break, to beg, to vanish. But your voice, your truth, is more dangerous than their secrets. Because when you shine a light in their darkness, you don't just survive. You expose. If you've ever been treated like a case study, like your pain is data and your motherhood an inconvenience, share this story. Comment below with, "I'm not a variable," and subscribe for more real stories that uncover what they want buried. Let the system know. We're watching now.